We're finishing the Z. I swear. I swear we're finishing it in this video. I don't care if it takes me 4 freaking days to do it. I'm putting 4 days into one video, and I don't care if this video is 40 minutes long. I hope it's not 40 minutes long. But welcome back to the Garrett426 channel. Today we're gonna go ahead and finish the Z, but that wasn't clear enough at the beginning of this. Still at the beginning. First, I would like to go ahead and tell you guys about some problems that we're having with the Z, tell you exactly what we're gonna be doing, and then just straight to frickin' work. So the problems that we are having is, it's a Z, it's Japanese, and this car is from Ohio, which means 2 big things. 1, rust. 2, every single bolt wants to strip, break, or not even want to go into its frickin' hole because the threads have already been pulled, or they're in the process of getting boogered up bad. So I had to go ahead and get a whole new tap and die set because we're going to have to tap and die a lot of holes on here. These are issues that I have known about. In fact, I've already addressed one of them on the transmission crossmember in this car. When I first got this car, it was just a rolling chassis, didn't have any of that stuff in it, and the crossmember was already removed, and the bolt head was busted on one of them where the crossmember goes. So I tried to drill it, tap it, do everything. I couldn't get it. I actually ended up breaking a tap or an extractor, whatever the hell. I ended up breaking one, which I was like, dang, I ain't never broke one of these before. So it was in there. So I ended up actually punching it out, putting a stud in there, welding it in place, and that worked great. I haven't had any issue. I also had an issue if all the threads tried to pull, like only one actually went to torque spec because I was so scared that I actually brought up my torque wrench and I didn't want to overdo them. And only one of them didn't pull the threads. So I ended up putting studs in all of them, welding all the way around it and bolting to it, and it worked perfectly. And I didn't go like super crazy and glop the weld on there. It was just like enough to where it was permanently attached to the body and it will hold everything in place. And it works great. That's actually what we're going to be doing to the front cross member. I have known about this. There are 2 bolt holes on it that are just holes. They don't even have threads. And I didn't cause that issue. I knew about it. I never addressed it. Now I'm going to address it. And what I did with the cross member is what I'm going to do to them. But what I'm also going to go ahead and do to avoid having another situation like that is I'm going to chase every single thread that comes out and replace any like really crappy bolts, which also leads me to have to special order a couple because my hardware store doesn't really have a lot of them. I went to like 3 hardware stores. I can't find any M10 by 1.25 anywhere. And if I do, it's not even the right length. So yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So as I was saying about the rust and whatnot, these are new, that's new, and that's new. These are not. As you can see on this one, I accidentally busted a head off of one of the bolts that goes to the W frame. And look at this thing. This thing is like, it's enough rust to be very concerning, especially since this is a suspension component. When these are much better condition, like I would actually consider, if I had it, getting a sandblaster, sandblasting these, and then powder coating them just to ensure that they will last even longer. I would even do the same to this piece right here, which I don't have it out of the car yet, but it is also completely destroyed. Here is the other one, which all 3 broke. It's not good. This one is in even worse condition. Like, that's serious rust. Like, some of that, like, that's not too bad. That's serious stuff right there. So these are completely trashed. And same thing for this piece right here. I haven't pulled it out from underneath the car yet either, but it's not in great condition. These are things that I've known about. Can I make those work and repair them? Yeah, but I got all of this right here for $63, including shipping off eBay. They're in great condition. Same thing for that piece. It's destroyed, but I got a new one. I think that was like 50 bucks. Not too bad. I do want to get another W frame because it's pretty messed up, but the W frames are super expensive. And I want to get a new crossmember thing that holds the compression rods up. I want to get a new one of those on the front of the car, because that one was from the car that I wrecked and it's bent. I knew about that, but it's been working. I'm gonna wait until a Z or G pops up at my local pick and pull and just pull the parts off myself, because people want like $160 for that one, and then for the W frame over here, people want like, you know, 120, 140. I mean, I've even seen $160, and pick and pull, it's like 20 bucks. Take it, get out of here. So yeah, I'm trying to do everything the best possible, but that would be a plan down the road, is to maybe sandblast them and powder coat them just to ensure that they last as long as possible. But that is also kind of like overkill too. Maybe one day when I have enough money and time and all that kind of stuff, I'll make this my Mona Lisa, but not today. The light over here. Now we come to our knuckle. I've already replaced all the bushings on the other one, and I know how to do it. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk you guys through it real quick, and then we'll set up the GoPro and record everything of me actually pulling this all apart. So all of this has to come apart. You have to take off these 17 millimeters to drop the wheel bearing out, which will drop the dust cover out. You also have to take out these 17 millimeters to drop out the parking brake. And the reason why you have to do that is because all of these bushings, you can get pretty much all of them out except for this one because the dust cover is in the way, and this one because the parking brake cable and these nuts right here are in the way of the tool I need to put in here to get this out. So you'll be removing the parking cable and all that. The upper arm right here, I don't know really what to call this, I guess control arm for the rear. These are a pain in the ass. In order for me to actually get these out, if you look at them, they have this edge right here. This one's a little bit better. This one, there we go. It's like the same size as this piece here. So I actually have to take my grinder and pretty much shave this all the way down until it's flush with everything so that I could put a socket on here and push this out. Because if I try to put something on here right now, I can't push it out. The tool will be fighting itself and not actually pushing this out. So you have to get out a grinder to do all that. It is annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do. All that's really left to do underneath here to pull out the subframe is I have to detach the drive shaft and I have to undo this bar right here, which was the one that I showed you over there already. I have to undo that and this entire thing will actually drop out. The front end kind of ties in with the problem that we're having over here. I'll be working on it slowly and whatnot, but this will also get done. For the most part, like, I just wanted to get new hardware for some of this stuff because the hardware was really shitty. I got better grade 8 stuff. So this brace right here is where I'm having a lot of problems. It is bent because I folded the car in half whenever I hit a tree, and that was on the last car. But once that's all fixed, all of this will go back together no problem. Thankfully, all of this is working out and I have all the fixes for everything. It'll take me a little while to get this all together, but I promise it'll all be done in this video. And that's mostly just because I am sick and tired of having to do suspension videos because I know that they are boring, nobody really likes them, and I don't want to be doing suspension bushings on my 350Z, part 2000, whatever, blah blah blah, 2456. No one wants to see all that. It's boring. So I'm gonna try to finish it all in this video so we can get on to bigger and better things. Now that I've addressed everything that's going on and whatnot and everything that we are doing, I would just like to ask, would you please subscribe to my YouTube channel? I'd greatly appreciate it. I promise that we'll be doing some pretty cool stuff soon. Well, maybe. We got a lot of stuff planned and things are happening. Things are moving in the right direction to make some cool stuff happen. But if you're interested in watching me just work on cars, talk, and you know, doing a lot of Volkswagen tech stuff, that kind of thing, you should consider subscribing. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to work because I got a long day ahead of me, a long couple of days ahead of me, and it's just, yeah, we just gotta grind, man. Just gotta grind and get it done. So probably just gonna be a lot of time lapsing and music and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's do the thing. Let's get to work. Okay, camera died, which worked out just fine for me. Now we're gonna go ahead and start putting in all the bush eggs. I already organized them, so I kind of know which one's going where. I'm not gonna tell you exactly which one goes where. There are directions. They're very easy to follow. So if you buy this kit, look at the directions. They'll tell you exactly which bush egg goes where. So let's go ahead and install them with tons and tons and tons of dielectric grease, because that is the shit. All right, we got the knuckle done. Didn't take that long, probably took about an hour, which for you guys, probably like less than 2 minutes, because that's how I'm hopefully gonna plan this. It's like 8 o'clock, 8:30. Let's go ahead and pull the subframe and get that done. Shouldn't take too long. All I have to do is detach the drive shaft, take out the most rearward bracket, and the whole thing should drop out because pretty much everything is already disconnected. So let's go ahead, do that, and then I'll probably call it a day. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I might just go ahead and fuck with those bush eggs. We'll see what happens. Fast forward a week and now we are here. The subframe is out and I've already worked on getting one of the bush eggs out so that I don't look like a complete idiot trying to pull this thing completely apart. I need to go ahead and turn that light on real quick. That's better. That bush egg's out. Need to go ahead and get the other bush eggs out. I want to take the subframe completely apart because we have to replace that bush egg there and the ones on the diff anyways. And we don't have to, but we're going to. We're gonna go ahead and detach the diff with the sway bar from the subframe. That'll actually make it a lot easier to work on this subframe. And a couple little things that I've figured out so far that really helps out with these bush eggs. One, I found a forum that gives you a very detailed guide on how to do this exact job. So I'll go ahead and link that below in the description. I did get a new tool. Got this awesome DeWalt Sawzall. I get DeWalt everything. I'm not saying any other tool brand's better or worse. I started investing all my money into DeWalt, and you'd be kind of an idiot to not just stick with the same battery system you started with. If I go to another system, I have to buy all new batteries and chargers and blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. Some other things too are these guys. These are sideways cutting drill bits. These are really cool. They are freaking like gnarly looking. They're awesome. They work extremely well. These are quite a pain in the ass to find, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a link below where I found these. I also have gotten tons and tons and tons of hardware for the Z. I ordered it all online. There's probably like close to 100 fasteners in there, because it is very hard to find fasteners for this car because everything is fine thread and metric, which isn't a problem, but man, is it a bitch to find in my frickin' town, man. Like, you would think Tallahassee would have more stuff like this, and it doesn't. It sucks. So I got tons and tons of fasteners because this is what I was working with. Like this really, I mean, it doesn't look that bad right here on camera, but this thing's disgusting. And I would just much rather replace it with something like this. Now I do have one that is the correct length for that, but this is the same 14mm head, the correct pitch and everything. It's designed for automotive use. So yeah, I bought a whole bunch of them, and I got more hardware right there too. There's a bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and pull everything apart. And all the new parts right here, I have OSFO'd them, scrubbed them down, you know, made sure that there was no rust on them anymore. I wish I could have sandblasted them, but I don't have a sandblaster. And I have also painted them black, just, you know, make sure that they last as long as possible. Probably gonna put another 2 coats on there, because by the time this is done being painted and dried and all that kind of stuff, I'll be done with the subframe and the entire front end. Then these can go on. It's gonna be a long one today. I got an early start. I wanna get this done. It is kind of cloudy today, which is perfect because that ensures that the temperature is gonna be nice and low today. In fact, highs are only gonna be 86, which is awesome. Usually been out here with the highs like, you know, 96. I was even out here on 101 day and it was like 120 degrees inside of here. It was rough, but always making it work. That's why we got the doors, the generator running for the lights, the swamp cooler. Makes life way nicer. I do want to get more fans though. So back to work. If you guys haven't seen my install video of this Bell's Raceworks Z1 Motorsports style diff brace, go ahead and check it out right up in the corner. Subframe is done. Didn't actually take that long, only about an hour of work. I was expecting it to be like 3 freaking hours of me just cussing a lot. Wasn't that bad. So, now that all this is done, I need to go ahead and start putting all the suspension. And I ran out of gas. Talk about some weird timing. Ran out of gas and the camera died. All around the same time. So I have a couple more bushings that I have to do. I have to press these ones out right here, because I haven't gotten to those yet. I also have the driver's side spring bucket and whatever arm to do as well. And then all the bushings are completely done. I can't use the polyurethane bushings that came with energy suspension for the sway bar because those are for 21mm sway bars. That's 23mm sway bar. Kind of happy to know that I have a really nice sway bar in this car. This thing's gonna handle so nice. Can't wait to get some coilovers on it. Because I have done so many bushing, pushing, outing things, I'm just gonna turn the camera off and get these done. All right, now that everything is done, all the bushings and all of that's been cleaned up, I fixed a couple of threads. Everything is ready to go together. And I have an idea on how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna attach the subframe back to the diff and then the sway bar back to it as well. And this thing down here has to be attached to it. Then I'm gonna slide the entire thing underneath the car, get it up onto the jack so it's ready to be raised up. Then I'll go ahead and install all of the control arms and whatnot and the knuckles and all that kind of stuff onto it. Then we'll put it up in the car because it'll be really hard for me to manhandle it with all that stuff on it. It's already really freaking heavy, with it hooked up to the diff. So we're gonna do all that, and there's one little itty bitty problem I came across. Whenever you use a energy suspension diff bushing, you're supposed to use the inside collet from the original bushing. Well, I don't really have that, so I have this. And the problem is that this is probably not long enough. I'm not sure yet. We might end up cutting this piece off so that it will go in all the way. We'll find out as soon as I put this guy in place. So let's bolt everything together, see what all happens. Well, this isn't gonna work, and I can't say that I didn't see it coming. Let's go ahead and cut this outer part of it off, try to make it as smooth as we can so that we can get it in all the way. Yay! Now that I have that piece cut off, it is currently painted. Made sure there are no burrs on it. We're gonna go ahead and continue with the rest of the stuff though, starting with tightening those guys down, putting that black piece thing that goes right here, you know, just getting this thing ready to be thrown into the car. It is now much later in the day. I have already got the subframe underneath where I need it to be. I have fixed up the front end. Let's go ahead and get all this done because it's like 7 o'clock and I am ready to go home. So what I'm doing right here is I have a little bit of an axle click issue. So I brake cleaned everything and I'm going to be throwing a bunch of this stuff on it. There's no such thing as using too much of this on there. There's a video that goes into detail on this. I'll go ahead and link it below. In hopes that this video doesn't end up being 3 hours long and I have to edit that said 3 hours into like 15 minutes, we're ending the video here. Now, I understand there are no wheels on the car, so how could it be done? You see, there is a very good reason why the wheels are not back on that car. We got some Akebono brakes. So yeah, we're putting a big brake kit on the car, not in this video, in the next one, or the next 350Z video that comes out. So keep an eye out for that. We're gonna be putting Akebono brakes on the car and I will be painting them. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, thank you guys so much to the 250 of you that have subscribed to my channel. It's quite nice knowing that there are 250 people that are willing to watch this very shitty YouTube channel. So I appreciate that. And if you are not one of those 250, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Anyways guys, I'll catch you all in the next one.